All right. Happy Friday. You made it. It is the weekend. Let me just throw out this message on my Facebook so people know I'm live. And then we're going to get right to it. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things today. Of course, it's Financial Fridays, so we're going to talk a little money. We're going to talk a little astrology and a whole lot more. All right, just posted it to Facebook, so we are good. All right. Hey, Lady Eyes of Green, how are you? Now, normally I'd be sitting in my chair, but my chair has been taken over by the Black Devil. Hi, Antonia. How are you? Welcome, ladies. I hope you're doing well. Yes, I had to bring in a kitchen chair from the dining table because this guy just loves to take my seat. I bet you're happy it's Friday. I'm actually happy it's Friday too. You are very welcome, Antonia. And like I said in the reading, once we get closer to May, I am going to show you something how to win in court. So 3 days before court, you have to do it. Now, little flustered this morning because I couldn't find my glasses. My glasses are MIA. So, it is what it is. But I'll get through it. I'll get through it. Let's get right to it. Let's talk money first, and then we'll talk a little astrology. Now, to those of you out there, my website is no longer. It's down. If you type in theastrologywitch.com, it will not be there. And that's okay. That is a good thing. Next 6 weeks, I will be building a new website. So change is good. Change comes. Change is scary, but change is good as well. So there is that. And I'm all for it. I'm embracing it. And I'm going to create a new website. My daughter is going to help me because, kids these days, they're so tech savvy that, there's things my kids know that it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Really? That's new to me. So this generation is, pretty much born with technology in their hands, so to speak. Let me just go into my Patreon. So a lot of my public newsletters are going to be on Patreon, the free ones as well. And I will go into YouTube right now and put the link down so that you can get the free newsletters. Okay, there it is. Good, good, good. Now let me go into my Patreon again and just I want to bring up the energy forecast for you guys. And I also have to bring up the crypto markets as well. So I probably should have done this before I went on, but I'm, like I said, running a little behind schedule today. Okay, here we go. Let me bring it on up here, this energy forecast. Okay. Well, that's not working. I'll bring it up after. All right, so it's Financial Friday. So we are going to talk a little bit about finances. The markets are down. In fact, that's probably what I should bring up, are the markets. Now, something happened with Ripple. Let me bring the article up so that I actually know what I'm talking about. Hold on, but my computer is very slow, and we have a big storm moving in, so I'm trying to get this. I have about an hour, I think, before it hits. So while that's okay. So this is coming from yesterday. Some of you may be wondering why your XRP is crashing a little bit. Now, yesterday, um, Ripple had apparently been hacked for over 100 million in XRP, and chaos erupted as prices plunged amidst fears of the exploit. Now, let's explore the story in detail. Um, XRP's price plunge. Let's see. Did Ripple really get hacked, is what it's saying here. I'm going to go to the full story so we get the whole perspective here. I think XRP is down to 50 cents a share. So it didn't drop that drastically, in my opinion. I think sometimes these people are like drama queens when it comes to the markets. You know, they're there to get you flustered. So a fear of missing out, you know, or something. There's a psychology to this. But no, it didn't drop that bad. I mean, it is at 50 cents. So I would definitely go in and buy a little more if you can afford it. But the XRP token experienced a sharp decline of over 5% on Wednesday following speculations that the network had been hacked, resulting in a theft of 112.5 million worth of XRP. Let's see what. However, Ripple's executive chairman, Chris Larson, later clarified on X, formerly Twitter, that the breach was limited to his personal XRP accounts and not to Ripple itself. Larson stated that there was authorized access to his personal XRP accounts, and they were able to promptly identify the issue and notify exchanges to freeze the affected addresses. He also confirmed that law enforcement is already involved in the investigation. So there, you can go and read this entire story at coinmarketcap.com. I'm just kind of going over it briefly, just so you kind of understand what the heck is going on with the markets. Let me go to another article. Now, this was from earlier this week, January 31st. This is the crypto long and short of it all. And they're talking about how these spot ETFs could dampen the Bitcoin's validity. I've noticed that Bitcoin, you know, everyone was talking about this coming out and everyone thought, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to go up and go up and go up. And it almost went down, in my opinion. In fact, if we go to the markets today, let's take a look at today's markets. My internet is so slow. It just keeps spinning and spinning, and it's very windy. So that could be why. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, Bitcoin is up to 42,875. It's up 0.17%. Ethereum went down a little. It's at 2292. XRP is at 50 cents and it's down 0.52%. So it did drop a little bit there, 5%, like they said. And the markets are, some are in the green, some are in the red. The top gainers in the last 24 hours, however, are, come on, she can do it. I'm waiting. My computer is just acting very, very strange. I think it's Coinbase. It's just Coinbase is acting funny this morning. Okay, let's go back to market cap and while that's uploading, let's go talk some more. Okay, so back on Wednesday, January 30th, the crypto um, crystal balls are out of full force lately, meaning, people are predicting. Over the past week, we've seen experts predict after expert predictions about where Bitcoin's price could be headed after the upcoming halving event. Now, that halving event is the big one. That is around, I think, April 15th. And they will be burning some crypto. They'll be burning some Bitcoin and getting rid of it so its value does go up. I don't ever plan on selling my Bitcoin. When it goes up, I'm going to keep storing it and keep storing it. That's just my plan for that specific coin. I want to go to CoinMarketBase for today because that's the one where it comes in at like 4:20 in the morning, and this is the latest updates. Let me just scroll down. That was February 1st. Today's February 2nd. And to those who celebrate, Blessed Imbolg, we are at the 6-week period between winter and summer. So those who celebrate, enjoy. So the Christians call it Candlemas. There it is. All right. Let me go into, let's see what everyone's saying. Okay. I won't be talking too much more about money, but I do want to bring this up. So Bitcoin has been range bound for over a week now and stuck between 40 and 43K. That doesn't mean there isn't action happening across crypto. And that is actually very true. The top gainers today are Pyth, Pyth, Link, Link, and IMX. The top losers are 100 sats, which I don't know what that is. It looks like Bitcoin, but it's not. Some of these coins I've never heard of. And there's just some I don't. Solana Hunger Games goes viral, crashes server after hype. So there's that. Jupiter token faces backlash despite massive airdrop. India maintains tough crypto tax law. And Polygon lays off 19% of its staff. So, the economy, you're feeling it in the crypto market as well. And that is really about it, for finances. Like I said, markets are down when, don't trip by the dip. That's my philosophy. I'm not going to talk too much about finances today because I want to talk about something else. The Djinn. Do we know what the Djinn is? Right. So I listened to a gentleman the other night, and I normally don't listen to this show, but it intrigued me. And it was, I think his name was Jerry Wells, and he was talking about the Djinn. Now, what is the Djinn? Well, in the Islamic world, let's start here, okay? Folks in the Western world believe, and this is an article coming from Jeremy Wells, so just no copyright infringement. I'm letting you know I'm getting my information from him because he did a show a few days ago on January 31st on Coast to Coast. And among most folks in the Western world, there's ghosts, there's UFOs, and there's cryptoids. And each are separate type of phenomena. So their cryptoids are like, when I talk cryptoids, I'm talking Yeti, things like that. Creatures that are, chupacabra, things like that. Hauntings are caused by spirits of dead people. So we know that much. UFOs are crafts from another world. We know that much. Cryptoids like Bigfoot, Bigfoot and sea serpents represent like an undocumented wild animals. Now, in the Islamic world, the places influenced by their culture, all of these various encounters could be attributed to one single entity. This is what this guy's saying. This is not what I'm saying. He's calling it the Djinn. Now, I know for a fact because I live on Navajo land. This was probably once inhabited by the Navajo Nation, Arizona. I know that when there are massacres and there are tragedies on the land becomes haunted, becomes tainted in some ways. So there are commercials going on Hulu right now to come to Gaza and buy land, buy real estate. Really? You don't think that land is cursed now because of what has happened? This is where the Djinn comes in. We're going to talk a little more about it. I'm trying to find my place here because I'm not going to read his article word for word. Okay, so some people compare the Djinn to demons, devils. The very name Djinn, Djinn, means covert or darkness. And plural, the jinni, where we get the idea of a genie in a magic lamp, are not angels or demons. So the Djinn is not an angel or a demon. Unlike angels and demons, they have the same free will as humans have. They can also choose to follow Allah or God, or to reject and ignore the teachings of Muhammad altogether. So what this gentleman is saying, and I'm not saying I agree with him 100%, but he is saying that jinns have free will. And all I'm saying is this: when there's a massacre of a land, and if you go through history, there are pieces of land that are just completely haunted and have very bad things that have happened that people see today. Spirits, ghosts. I mean, people who are ghost hunters. I mean, 9 times out of 10, when people are having major problems with spirits, chances are pretty good that your house is buried on Native American land, or even worse, a Native American graveyard. Right now, that is what Gaza is a graveyard, a mass grave. And some of these people that have no cosmic consciousness think that they're not going to answer for their sins. They may not answer for it in the human world, but you will answer for it in the cosmic world. So what I'm trying to say is these people are trying to build these homes, put these $1 million resort on this land that's tainted by a massacre of innocent people. It isn't going to go well over there. The spirits are running rampant. That's what they want. No, they did want their land, but now they get to deal with the Djinn. That's what they're going to have to deal with. Like I said, the Djinn have free will. They could be kind, they could be mean. It just depends. Let's see. What else can I say about the Djinn? They are a separate creation. Some say they're made by God from smokeless fire, according to various resources. Though usually invisible to the human eye, the Djinn are capable of taking on any form they choose, but are especially fond of transforming into snakes, lizards, and scorpions. Now, they can be mischievous trickster types, and in the Islamic world, they are much more than that. Islamic lore says that while the Jinn are powerful and long-lived, unlike angels and demons, they have free will. I already said that. But like tricksters of fairy lore, because fairies can be big time tricksters, and from other traditions, those who attempt to bargain or do business with the jinn must be very, very careful. The jinn, like the fairy, may be able to grant wishes when tricked or captured, but they will do so very maliciously, if possible. It's important to be very specific and to look for attempts at trickery when making your wish, lest it backfire on you. So, general rule of thumb here is don't fuss with the jinn. Don't make wishes. Don't do any of that. Sometimes humans also take jinn spouses. So that's interesting. But like with the fairy spouses of Western lore, their relationship usually has stipulations, and if they are not followed exactly to the letter, the spouse may disappear or even taking children with them. Like the fairy realm, the jinn also favor remote wilderness areas. Some areas like caves or certain forests may be associated with the jinn. While this may simply be a manifestation of human anxiety when separated from the rest of civilization, it also parallels with other more modern incidents. The famous Bell Witch encounter of Tennessee, for instance, we're going to use this as an example, and he uses this as an example, are said to have been associated with a cave on the family's property, something some visitors to the location still believe. I guess they believe that the energy on the Bell Witch property is coming from that cave. Like, while there are those phenomena, like your classic poltergeist, where you got knocks on the door, scratches, things moving about, it escalates to a trickster like energy, though, um, with disembodied voices. Like, for example, the Bell Witch property, you can hear the witch, um, and family members going on wild goose chases, hearing her, trying to catch her. Um, like the jinn, the Bell Witch also displays dangerous attributes, reportedly replacing the family's patriarchy medicine with poison to end his life after years of torment and trickery. I guess that's one of the things that happened in this Bell Witch case. And he's just comparing the Bell Witch energy to jinns. He goes on to say that the jinn are believed by Islamic religious scholars to be composed of, like I said, smokeless flame. In The Vengeful Jinn, this is a story of the unveiling of the hidden agenda of genies. Author Philip Imbrogano and Rosemary Ellen Guiley note that Islamic scholars describe the jinn as glowing objects that can change their share and at times take on physical form. They further state the jinn are said to be able to communicate without using a voice by speaking telepathically directly into the head of someone they wish to have a conversation with. This phenomena, they note, is common not only in cases involving UFO contactees, because that's very much happens when you're abducted. There's no verbal communication, it's telepathic. And other paranormal experiences have happened where it's telepathic, but also in religious or mystical visions. It goes on to say that Islamic mythology is the body of traditional narratives associated with Islam form of mythographical perspectives. And when I read that, I actually went and looked at a graph of the world and what certain regions believe. And actually, the Middle East, there's like 55% of people that believe in a high spirituality, not just Muslim, but a high spirituality where they believe in protection with talismans and things like that. Um, Contrary to what you see on the news, there is a high spiritual energy in the Middle East, and goes way before religion any religion was ever formed. Um, Islamic mythology, let's see, is the body. Okay, I said that. Many Muslims regard their narratives as historical and sacred and believe they contain profound truths. These traditional narratives include, but are not limited to, the stories contained in the Quran. Now, just like in Native American culture, and I'm being told constantly not to say the word. So here in Arizona, you've got skinwalkers, okay? And a lot of my native friends don't want me to repeat that word too much. I'm not allowed to say it over and over and over again. It attracts the energy. Well, in the Arabic and Muslim culture here, it's the same mantra, meaning if you think too much about them or you talk too much about them, you can attract them. And, I get that too. If you obsess too much about something over and over again, you attract that energy to you. It actually makes perfect sense. Last Monday, my ex Capricorn was violent against our third son. I wonder if he is going to be punished. Does that say? I don't know. That's terrible. All right, continuing on. The practice of witchcraft in the Middle East has a long history. In ancient Judaism, there existed a complex relationship with magic and witchcraft, with some forms of divination and mystical practices accepted, yet others view it as forbidden or heretical. And it doesn't matter what religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, there are those factions of people that think a higher spirituality is bad. And in some ways, there is factions of witchcraft that are very bad because people do very bad things. Just because you have the gift and the knowledge doesn't mean a person does good things with it. There's always that. You know what I mean? All right. I'm going to continue reading, but I got to put something in my... Hold on here. Okay, moving on. Let me go back to my notes. I want you all to think about something, and this is something I've said over and over and over again. I wanted you to think of the three main religions: Christianity, Islam, Judaism. Where they all came from is the Middle East. And in the realm of astrogeography, because every land, every place takes on an astrological energy. United States, July 4th, 1776. It's a Cancer nation. But you also have to take into consideration that before there were borders and boundaries, what was the land? So all of the Middle East is Pisces energy because those three religions were erected from that part of the world. Pisces energy. That is the Middle East. It's Pisces energy. The United States is Cancer energy, but before it was the United States, it was Native American land. So it was also Sagittarian energy. Israel. That is Taurus energy, but its origins are still part of Palestine, which is Pisces. So one of these days I'll talk more about that. But I want to talk about the symbol, the crescent moon, as the universal symbol for Islam. That is not an accident, subconsciously being chose because we are all children of the stars. The early Muslim community did not really have a symbol. During the times of the Prophet Muhammad, Islamic caravans and armies flew simple solid colored flags, generally black, green, white, for identification purposes. The crescent moon and star symbol actually predates Islam by several thousand years and wasn't affiliated with Islam at all until the Ottoman Empire placed it on their flag. So what I'm trying to say is subconsciously, this Arab nation has been connected to the stars even before religion. They're connected. The crescent moon and star symbol. No, I covered that already. Never mind. We're done with that. But yes, it wasn't, it wasn't affiliated with Islam until the Ottoman Empire placed it on their flag. And that is just a little history to share with you about it. So anytime you are seeing things on the news about how Israel's getting ready to build these major resort on Gaza, just know that the land is tainted with hundreds, thousands of dead bodies, not just from this, but for all the Nakbas that have happened in the years past. Just something to think about. That's all. It is something to think about. All right. Moving on. It is going to be a little short and sweet today. I am going to show you. Now, there's a website called learningreligions.com. And I'm saying this because, and I'm doing this because there seems to be these myths, these indoctrinations about the Islamic world and the Muslim world. And so I'll put this, in fact, I'm going to put this down here so you go and do your own research on it. But it's the 10 myths about Islam, and one of them is Muslims worship a moon god. Some Muslims mistakenly believe that Allah is an Arab god, a moon god, and some sort of idol. Allah in the Arabic language is the proper name for one true God. For the Muslims, the most fundamental belief is that there is only one God, the creator, the sustainer. So there's that. Now, another misconception, Muslims don't believe in Jesus. That is not entirely true at all. This is why when I hear ignorant people say ignorant things, I kind of have to sit there and say, have you ever read the Quran? Have you ever dove into the religion and really understood it and studied it? But anyway, I'm not going to go through all of these. You can go and read them yourself. I'm on here to bring awareness to the world. And knowledge is power, people. Remember that. When we have knowledge, we have power. When we bury our heads in the sand, we do not have power. Okay. So, all right. Oh, it's getting dark out there. It's getting dark out there. Let's do a box haul. So this is from last month's. I'm not doing them anymore, but I seem to be having an issue with that lady from that company. This company not canceling my subscription. So if that's the case, I'm going to have some issues. So I tried to cancel and I just got a notification of my order, and I'm like, no. So this January's Witches box was all about Greek pantheons. And so you get, is that upside down? It is. All the Greek pantheons, Hera, Athena. If you are in my Patreon, you got to experience me doing your monthly tarot. And then you just get some cards. This is a hymn. Then there's Hermes. And then Iris. And the card of the month, which I love, Wheel of Fortune, Demeter. Okay, and then you get a candle. Nice, lovely purple beeswax. Can't go wrong with the beeswax. I will admit, I do love this box, but it is getting a little bit repetitive. And what I mean by that is I'm just kind of getting sick of some of the shit that's in it. It's like the same shit every month. You know, I'm sick of getting salts. I've got more bath salts than I know what to do with. Oil named Phoebe. Phoebe. My daughter highlighted some things here, so I will read them to you. Bear with me, you guys. There's not enough room here, and when the cat decides he's going to plot, it does not help my situation at all. Okay, let's put that down there. There. All right, candle. Then there is the stone of the month, which is a little amethyst. Just what I need, more amethyst. Incense of the month, which is ritual incense, skyhe. I don't know how to pronounce that. All right, and then inside this beautiful bag here is, this is Hera tea. Everything is Greek. It's all Greek gods and goddesses. So a little Hera tea. Another salt. Let's see. Aphrodite's embrace. And a couple of herbs. And then I'll show you the granddaddy of them all. These are, let's see. These herbs are Eulith root. I don't know what, hold on, because I sure as hell do not know what that is. Like I said, she renames her herbs, and then I come to find out I've got like 5-6 bottles in my pantry of elderberry or some crazy herb, because that's because she renames the herbs. Elecampane root. Historically, this root is a beautiful elecampane flower and was harvested to produce teas, tinctures, and many other preparations. It supports digestion and also aids in uncomfortable emotions. So there's that. And then the other one, Eleuthero root. This is a potent root commonly known as Siberian ginseng, and it contains the same solar and fire energies used for virility and stimulation. Burn this root as an incense or place it with magical sachets to attract wealth, health, and prosperity. Included for ritual use only. All right. So there's that. You get all those herbs. Then I have a cat trying to get out. Then the granddaddy of them all. And I'm not going to pull cards today because I don't have that kind of time. I have to get off this computer before the store moves in and blows my computer. But the Mythos Tarot. Absolutely gorgeous. Comes with a little book. And the cards are just absolutely gorgeous. Gold plated. And it's That's what the back looks like. Woo! 52 pickups, see? And then that's what some of the cards look like. Like that's the devil, I think. No. Yeah, the devil. Hades. So each card is a Greek god or goddess. Knight of Wands, Hercules. I think the magician is Hecate. So they're perfect. They're absolutely beautiful. Interesting thing is when I get tarot cards, like in a witch box, I don't usually resonate with them very well. But these, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Greek in me. They're starting to really resonate with me. And they're gorgeous. And I got these in the witch box, so I don't know. The author is Helena Elias. I'll hold that up closely so you can see right there. Guidance from the Greek gods. It is absolutely gorgeous. And you know, like those of you that are in my Patreon, the meanings of them are very similar to Rider-Waite. They're not too far off in explanation. I think maybe that's what I like about them, is that they are easy. And I would pull for you. I'd pull a card, but I dropped them all, and half are on the floor right now. So there's that. But yes, very beautiful cards. Let's just show you. So yes, gorgeous cards. So lately I have been working either with the Witch's deck, the Rider-Waite, or the Crow. But now that I have these are starting to feel, they're very stiff still, and they're very slippery, but they definitely will do the job for sure. So that is the January Witches box. I know I'm a little late. It's already February, but that's what it is. Let me double check my notes, make sure I've covered everything for the day here. And I didn't go too much into money because the economy is not doing that great. Now, one thing I am going to post, it'll only be for Patreon, because once I have the new website back up and running, I'm going to add a fourth tier to Patreon. And I'm probably going to change the names, you know, a little bit. But the fourth tier is going to be strictly astrology and finances. And there is something I'm going to drop probably today for my Patreons. It'll only be for the Crone tier. And this has to do with money and finances and the 5 coins that are the money shot to the moon, as they call it. The moon shot is what he's calling it. And there's 5 coins that are on there. I'm lucky enough that I own, I think, 3 or 4 of them. So that is an article I'm going to share with my Patreons. Feel free. I put the link up if you would like to join. $5 a month gets you all the vital information you need. They're absolutely beautiful, Antonia. Yes, I highly recommend getting these cards. I'm really resonating with them very, very well. But I love Greek mythology, you know, Poseidon, Hermes, you know, Athena, all the Greek goddesses, Sophia, goddess of wisdom. But yes, have a good weekend. We're going into it could get a little violent this weekend, so just be aware. And Plutonic energy. Like I said, Patreon has the exact dates. The energy forecast is up for you guys as well, so you want to get in there and get that. A little shorter today than usual because of the storm. I am going to do the Stars of Israel this weekend. I think subconsciously I keep putting it off. And it's not, you should see some of the remarks that are flagged on here. Oh wait, I got a new video to post too. It's complete satire, but um I will do the stars of Israel. They're not great. No country has perfect stars. And when I'm dealing with a country, please remember we don't go and deal with the moon, because a country doesn't usually have emotion per se. It's a country, it's a land. But I also am going to leave you on this note. The next universal dragon coming is in January of 2025, January 12th or 13th. It ships 2025. And it moves into a Pisces Virgo energy. What this means is the United States will be affected by its third house, as the house of community, mental clarity, neighbors, friends. We as a country are going to lose our friends. We stand alone. Now, the dragon head will be in Pisces, which means the Middle East rises again. Yes. This whole thing that's happening in the Middle East could escalate into something greater, yes. And according to Nostradamus himself, this is one of his predictions, not mine, there is the possibility of 2025, 2026, there being a Sunni Shiite war. Like I said, that's Nostradamus, that's not me saying that. I am working on the predictions for the next one. But Dragon Head and Pisces, what does Pisces represent? It's the 12th house. It's the deep subconscious, but it's also religion. It rules religion. So there'll be religious wars and religious fighting. And then there'll be those who are elevated to higher consciousness. You know what I mean? You're going to hear more about flooding and water rising. You'll hear more about drug abuse and addiction, because Pisces rules oil, it rules water, it rules alcohol, it rules drugs and substance abuse. So you're going to hear more about these things. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I was doing the recent dragons predictions for the Aries Libra one, when I said I see the rise, now my Patreons are the ones who have all the predictions. And in that, I said I see the rise of Hitler's spirit. Never in a million frickin' years would I have thought that the rise of Hitler's spirit is coming from Israel. Oh my God, I said it. I mean, sometimes the stars shock me too, you know. Greece is too close to the Middle East. You know, as I agree, it is. So is Italy. I have a friend of mine that lives in Sicily, and she's up above in the mountains, but she could see the ocean. And she just said that I've never seen more traffic on the Mediterranean than I have since October. And I mean, it's disturbing. So yeah, I can only imagine, because you are very close to the Middle East too. Just be safe, be careful. Um, but I do think that the next dragon is going to create some issues with religion, an uprising of some sort. And once it's on the third house of the United States, this is where the United States, I think its people will start to feel hopeless and helpless. But I have to dig in a little more and look. I don't want to speculate too much, but Nostradamus does predict that the next dragon will be a Sunni Shiite war. I hope he's wrong, but when I do my predictions, I don't, if I incorporate a prediction in that's from Nostradamus, I will put it right on the side, Nostradamus. I don't repeat the predictions he does. I do my own, which I can with the software I have and the knowledge that I have. But that is that. Um, like I said, little violent weekend. I'll do Israel stars. And is there anything else? I'm trying to think. If you need readings, tarot readings, my PayPal is still up, and so is my Cash App. So if you need something, I'm not that far away. And the website will be back up and running in a good 5 to 6 weeks. So there's that. Antonia, thanks for tuning. And Lady Eyes of Green, happy Friday to both of you ladies. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Like I said, I'll try and get back on here on Monday. Maybe Sunday. It depends. I'm trying to get on here 2 days, 2 times a week. But that's a little hard to do. Just depends. So all of you out there, have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Ciao.